Electricast.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
And welcome to the Money Round. I am the Money Coach. Join with me, Dom the Bomb on the ones and twos. And we're brought to you by Extreme Training, where the elite come and train with the elite. Also brought to you by Spartan Combat. What's up with my man, Nick Garone? All right, today we will have one of the best, I guess I'll say up and coming still, coach, even though you've been in the game for a minute. Definitely been around the college game for a long time and national champ at Oklahoma. And are you born and raised in Oklahoma, Coach?
Oh yeah, I'm an Oklahoman. I'm a thoroughbred.
Yes. So and definitely just been on the move and trying to get things going up at Oklahoma with Boomer Sooner. So what's been going on, Coach? Thanks for coming on.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Just trying to get back. It's good to be back. Like I said, this ain't the OU I went to, should I say, man. These cats get a lot more than.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hi, this is Zoe Deutsch.
And Nick Robinson. Our brand new movie, Voicemails for Isabel, is all about those little moments that feel like the universe is looking out.
Feeling homesick, then your sister calls.
Hearing that perfect song exactly when you need it. Sometimes life rigs things in our favor, like learning about your new favorite rom-com, Voicemails for Isabel. Now playing only on Netflix.
And then what I got 20 plus years ago, man, is I'm walking around showing these cats the facilities. I get mad myself. I'm like, boy, look at all this stuff right here. It's like the opportunity these guys got. Today's age, man, it's a great opportunity to be alive, and I'm talking about in all sports, man. We would have loved the NIL and everything else that's going on, man. That would have been a life changer, should I say?
So let's jump straight into the NIL. What is your feelings on that? And tell me, what you would have thought as a wrestler and how you approach it as a coach now.
As a wrestler, I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm 20 years out of the game. That would have done me some things. I would have had a couple of good cars. Had a little couple more zeros in my account. Invested in at a young age, but if I'm being 100, I probably wouldn't have stayed at OU because I remember how cheap my coach was. So
don't go back on space.
yeah. My coach probably wouldn't have paid it. So, but at the end of the day, as a coach now, it's a bittersweet deal. You lose guys to it. If you find the money man, it's all good. It's all good. Because you got your money man, you got your money crew. But when you don't have that money crew, it's a bitterness, because you can develop guys, you can put a lot of time into guys, and then somebody can just come and grab it and run off with your, the reward and everything like that, knowing they might not have the relationship or this, that, and the other, but it's the money. And the deal is as a coach, you got to step back and be like, well, do I want really what's best for the athlete? Yes, I do. Even though the administration might not be caring about that at that time, So my deal is
Pay's checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out, because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pace. It checks out. Activation required. See Pace.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
With this NIL, if you're going to do it like a contract. Meaning, if I sign a young man for 2 years, 2 years, that's what he's got to give me. No coach can talk to him. Your coaches talk to him. If this, that, and the other, that should be a violation. That should be some penalty, And so, make it a contract. You're trying to make it similar to pro. Make it a contract, because at the end of the day, I can't get mad at an athlete for getting paid, and leaving when coaches do it all the time. Coaches do it all the time. They get paid. The only difference is, it costs that other university something because you usually have to do their buyout, And so my deal is if you're going to go in this way, go in this way. Because nobody likes being on the burnt end of the stick, losing an athlete, but you want what's best for that athlete as well.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of changes now. And even now, I guess, but you don't have to go to the transfer portal. You can just transfer, show up at the school.
Yeah. And you can't, like I said, man, at the end of the day, yes, these are the rules that are given and whatnot. And so I can't knock it because you got athletes that just don't get along with coaches, don't get along with environments, given that, but when you got athletes, that are on 4 different, you can be on 4 or 5 different universities in 5 years. You're like, okay, well, you can't knock them. You can't hate them because that's how the game is. Don't hate the player, hate the game, Right. So obviously you can't never get mad at the individual, but because he's abiding by the rules. He ain't breaking no rules. NCAA, hey, you allow them, and then they milk it. They can do it, So you just don't want like being on the burnt end of the stick, because everybody. And what cracks me up is everybody got something to say, But if they receive that golden egg, that transferred in, they all good. They just don't like being on that burnt end of the stick.
I know that's the nature of the beast now.
Oh yeah.
So, like, are you saying it was contract? Is the NILs right now? Is it not based on contracts as far as anything goes?
No, not really. You can have, as far as I've learned, scholarship wise, that's cool. That's just cool. So if I give you a scholarship, I can sign you to a 4-year, 5-year deal scholarship. A lot of times that's locked in, unless you do something, over the top to lose your scholarship, but NIL, you can sign it, but you.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
You can always get out of it as well, So say I sign you to a $100,000 deal, but then, Iowa comes along and want to sign you to a $250,000 deal.
Funny you said Iowa. Funny.
Or they the money team. I just got to give them the money team. They the money team. Well, we gonna call a spade a spade. We're not gonna lie about it. Well, they the money team right now, and kudos to them. You can't knock them. Or shoot, I can go Okie State. It's like at the end of the day, they the money team. They got the big ballers behind them, and at the end of the day, they can come in and go buy this person, and that person will be willing to give back that little 100,000, knowing he's about to get something else on top, or that person to cover it, knowing doing what they do, So at the end of the day, that's just, that can get messy at the times, and so that's why I say contracts. We a lot of times in the business where you have a non-compete, right. You have those things, and so at the end of the day, just keep it professional. I don't have a problem with that. Nobody don't not want these guys not to get paid, but you don't want to be on that short end of the stick.
Yeah, I think I think with wrestling, it's pretty cool. Like your Iowa, some of these guys are paying that. The thing is, when will some of these wrestlers make supposedly that amount of money in that short of time? Like you may get a regular job and may not supposedly make that amount as far as what Iowa is supposedly offering.
Exactly. If anything, I'm a hater because I want to be a part of that. No, so like, hey, let them get that money. Hey, that's their money. Let them make that money. I'm just mad I couldn't be a part of it to get that money. So and so, but at the end of the day, like I said, yeah, go make your money. You just like I said, as a coach though, you don't like losing your killers.
Right. Let me ask you this: do you think? I mean, because we all heard the numbers supposedly that Iowa's bad. Do you think it might be in some way eventually that some of the kid wrestlers are making more than the coaches?
I think so. Yes. Oh, yes. And let's be real. I mean, people come to see the kids. They're not seeing the coaches. You get
Right.
to see the coaches, but they come to see the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, when they go to a duel, they're looking at 10 athletes from that school that's going out there to represent to that school. They're not looking at the coach.
Now, what's the new thing? I know, like they're saying, like the athletes now going to be able to make money off of the tickets. So is that correct?
Mhm.
That's like how the fighters make money.
Yeah, I mean, you got very few schools that can do that, though. Let's be
In
100.
wrestling. In
Yeah,
wrestling,
yeah,
though.
especially in wrestling, yes. But
Yeah, what's
football,
about football? Yeah.
basketball, gymnastics, yeah, that's a whole different ball game. But yeah, wrestling wise, you got about 10 schools, maybe, if you lucky, that probably does a profit, which I don't believe. With your Penn State, Iowa, Okie State, Ohio State, I mean, Iowa State, I'll throw up in there,
Yeah,
Michigan, I mean, you got about 10 schools that these fans come and they're hoorahing about match in and match out.
it's gonna be crazy. All right, well, switching gears, coach, like tell us how you got involved in wrestling down in Oklahoma and how'd you get started?
Man, I got in wrestling about 35 years ago, man. Grandma actually put me into it, man. We started at the East Side Y, and I mean, I was always had a little build, a little athletic build. Wasn't scared of nothing, and wrestling was a cheap sport, so I didn't even have to have wrestling shoes. So grandma, she, how it is. Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and so she put me in. Eastside Y is about 30 of us little black kids with a all staff of black coaches. About 8 of them. And being a part of that once again, when you look back at it, that team was one size fit all, meaning those coaches, they were your parents, and if you wanted to be a part of that team, they disciplined you like their own child, and my coach at the time worked for the governor. So he had a job. He was, a couple other coaches were firemen in the army. They had good jobs, but they come in the evening and they showed us how to be, as what young black men should be, even though as young black men, we didn't see it at the time, and at the end of the day, they started showing us discipline. When we came into places, man, hey, our coaches let us know, hey, you come in here, you walk in a file, you walk in a single file line, they know who the East Side Warriors are. Hey, no plan. You sit until it's time, couple matches, you get warmed up. You win, lose, get a little warm up, cool down. You go sit your butt back down there. That's how it was. And if you got caught playing around this and that and the other, there was some consequences and repercussions. But the good thing that, man, I learned big time about my coaches is they gave us goals, man. You win the tournament. Hey, coach took you to McDonald's to go get a Happy Meal. And you wanted to be on that Happy Meal train, man. And they gave you goals. It's like, I'm not, hey, he'll tell us in the match, hey, you gonna miss out on that Happy Meal? Nah, I ain't missing out on my Happy Meal, So you go do your thing, he motivates, but not only that, he motivates off the map by, good grades. I make good grades, I get straight A's. Hey, he said, I only want straight A's. He give you $5. Coach Robinson, 35 years ago, $5 can get you a long ways,
That was a couple Happy Meals.
Especially with penny candy and all that,
Right.
and everything was 25 cents. And it's like that'll last me a good month or so. But that was motivating what he did. So he showed us discipline, but he's also showed us love, and he taught us goals, man. And at the end of the day, man, I saw a lot of success as a young man, until God took me into a different direction.
So, all right. So from there, then, how did you get to what high school did you end up going to?
So when I left the East Side Y, I actually went and I moved in with a family, another family. And so my grandmother, I had three brothers and one sister. And so uh I remember wrestling kid at a national tournament. Now, back in the day, used to judge kids by their singlets. Used to think that, your single was better than theirs. You're like, oh, I'm gonna piece this kid up. Man, I learned a lesson real quick. Man, this kid had a short singlet. It was like one of the most simple red and blue singlets, like the old freestyle singlets.
Yeah, the
And then
90s.
me, I got the nice long singlet going down to my knees and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to piece this kid up. He don't know what. I learned my lesson, boy. That dude whooped my tail, man. He hit some things on me that I hadn't seen. I came up out the man like, hey man, how'd you do that? And he was showing me stuff. And little did I know that we was gonna eventually get involved in the same church. The same church that we and I'm like, I remember I was at church and he walked across and was like, hey, it's you, kid that whooped my tail. Hey, what's up? What are you doing here? He's like, I go to church here, man. And I was like, really? And I remember LinkedIn with their family, LinkedIn with, his dad. His dad was a coach. And little did I know that led, his dad was a assistant coach to Dave Hazewinkle, who has a son, Sam Hazewinkle. And so, we all clicked and linked together. And I remember, man, we out of Windsor Hills, I got to know that family. And I remember, they went to a private school and we couldn't afford no private school. So they talked to the pastor, letting, giving me a scholarship. And I ended up going to that private school. And so that's how I got linked in with Hazewinkle. And this kid's name was Nate Thorson. And so he was a top wrestler of 2000. He graduated in 2000. And man, he sharpened me, man. I remember our club team, we used to have, guys like Johnny Hendricks come through, Charles Jones, Chris Jones. We had a solid club team, man, that we was bad. We was getting Olympic training at a young age because if you know Dave has a twin brother named Jim. They're the first, twin brothers, to make the World Olympic team. And Dave's the first American to be the Russian in Greco, and then Sam and Dave are the first father-son duo to make the Olympic team, So they come from a family of wrestling. So that stuff that we were doing in high school and college, we were learning that at the age 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Right. So how many titles did you win in high school?
Say again?
How many titles did you win in high school?
So in high school, I was a 4-time undefeated state champion. Wow. And so, and then, I learned just a couple years ago, I think I was the first Black Dave Schultz winner, when it was just one, and so learned that. And, but wrestling, if I'm honest with you, wrestling wasn't my sport. Football was. I love football. But I'm 5'5", 135 pounds at the time, So, I was like, yeah, and during that time, I really wanted to play football. But then I came to my senses because of Adrian Peterson with the OU, and so I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen, but.
If I recall right, did you and, oh, man, I want to say his uncle ran the Granby system, Michael
Martin.
Martin, did you guys wrestle a lot?
Michael Martin. So me and Michael wrestled at the Reno. We first, I only wrestled him, I believe only one time. And so I wrestled Michael Martin. We both were undefeated, Reno. And he introduced me to his Grammy. He hit me with that Grammy. I introduced him to my snap down, go behind, and he introduced me to the Grammy. And so, we had a close match. I think I ended up edging him like 5-4. And, and I gave him a hug afterwards. I said, all right, I plan on seeing you again in the future, dog, because I knew he was going to Illinois. And so, but little did I know he was a finalist with me for the Dave Schultz. He was the Dave Schultz. And so he was my roommate. And I got to know Michael Martin a little bit. And man, the kid was talented. Could sing, play guitar and everything like that. And you didn't know this style. I think I had this dude play me like 50 songs, man. Hey man, play another song, man. Play another song, man. He was just jamming away, and I'm like, dang, I wouldn't have known this as the wrestler, And so, And so we still keep in touch, man. He still, messages me. We catch up and everything. Cause I didn't know what happened to him in college. And, he broke it down to me a little bit of some things of, why he strayed away from college. But then, right now he seems like he's back on his feet doing his thing.
Yeah, no, you had some battles in there. All right, so take us to how you got to OU and like who was all in the hunt there.
So it came down to Nebraska, OU, and OSU. And being an Oklahoma kid, I never really stepped out of Oklahoma. I never lived out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, that's what I knew. And Mark Manning was my coach. I like Mark Manning. Mark Manning, man, because I remember Mark Manning. Mark Manning used to coach. He was assistant under Jack Spates when I was a kid, for Team Oklahoma. And so we got to know him and everything like that. And then he left OU to take the job at Nebraska. And so, you've always liked it. You always liked him. But Nebraska was like 8 hours away. And, and I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Cornhuskers, I don't know, 8 hours away. I was like, I don't know, you pray on it and everything like that. And I was like, all right, let me see what's up. And then I went to OSU. And, I went to OSU, even though they're the number one team at that time. Nobody wasn't touching OSU. They were just too good. I was like, man, it's like cowboys out here, man. I don't know if I can fit with the Wranglers and the boots. And I was like, I don't know about this. I was like, even though it's 30 minutes away from home, I'm like, it's 30 minutes away from home. But I say like, oh, team, we're going to get you in some boots and everything. No, man, I'm from Oklahoma City and y'all can't get me in no boots, man. I was like, and I said, I don't know. But once again, they got a powerhouse team. They're beasts, man. And so I was like, man, all right. Little do people know, Johnny Hendricks obviously was raised with me and Hayeswinkle. We were all raised to go to OU. That's where our club team came and everything like that. When we went on that visit to OSU, we told Johnny, we were like, bro, man, this is the university for you. Because Johnny's Wrangler, boots, right. Outdoor, man, everything. We looking around, I was like, this is your university. He's like, I know, but we were all raised to go to OU. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't fight this, man. This is your environment. And he's like, I think so. And he's like, well, I'm going to commit first and I'm going to have you commit next. And I was like, well, we'll do some thinking on it. And then I remember going to OU, I felt home and everything like that. So, it came down. I was like, all right, Sam, Johnny already made his choice. What are you thinking, Sam? And Sam's like, man, John chose, an Oklahoma wrestler over Hayeswinkle. And so Sam was like, well, they chose this person over me. I'm taking my talents to OU. And I was like, really? He chose that? I said, all right, well, let's go to OU, build our own brand, build our own team. I said, think about it. Now, I want you guys to think about it. If Sam would have went to Okie State, I would have went to Okie State. You would have talked about Hayeswinkle, 125, Johnny Thompson, 133, me, 41, Espo, 49, it wouldn't have mattered. Johnny was in and out of 57, 65. Right. Tyrone Lewis at 65. Pendleton at 74. 74, 84. You had Roshaw, 84, 97. And then you have Mako. So we probably would have been the greatest team ever assembled if that would have happened. But that was a move that John messed up on of choosing a kid that Sam had killed already.
Who was the kid?
Derek Fleener. So Derek Fleener was a 4-time state champion out of El Reno. And so Sam had his number. But John, I give John props. John was loyal to his Oklahoma boys. Even though Sam is an Oklahoma boy, he left our sophomore year, going into our sophomore year to Pensacola. So sophomore, junior, senior. And so everybody kept saying he's a Florida boy. And I'm like, no, this dude is an Oklahoma kid. Why do you think he was so quick to rush back to get back to Oklahoma, But John, since, you had Tyrone Lewis that came out of there. You had a lot of guys that came out of El Reno. And John chose Fleener. So Sam was like, nope. I'm taking my talents down to OU. And I said, well, let's go build our brand down here and everything.
That's crazy. Now you got something for Coach?
Yeah, coach, what does it mean to you to be coaching for the same team you competed for in college?
Man, it's a blessing, man. I can't lie to you, man. At the end of the day, testifying to these guys, man. I don't have to sell anything. I don't sell nothing to guys. If I sell, then I know it's time for me to get out the sport. In general, my deal is you know they see that I walk through those halls, through those doors with them, and at the end of the day, they see my pictures and everything like that. So when I speak to these guys, they know, I'm not just trying to sell them something. They know I'm speaking straight to them, and I tell these guys about not only my success, but I speak more on my failures than anything because people are gonna see the success. They want to know how did you bounce back? When this happened, that happened, that happened. So the deal is at the end of the day is reconnecting with these guys of understanding, hey, where you really gonna learn is when you fail. I can't teach you a lot of times when you're winning. Because let's be real, a lot of us we ain't changing nothing if we winning. But when you losing, things ain't going your way. That's where I tend to connect more with my guys and everything like that. And so and tell them how good they got it, man. I show them how good they got it. I said in my day we was fighting over protein shakes. We was hungry. We couldn't even get a protein shake after we lifted, fighting with football. Now these cats got fueling station for days that's open till 8 o'clock, and they can go in as much as they want and get whatever they like. Man, I'm like, where was this at when I was in college? So it's like I said, it's a blessing, man, to get back here. Did I ever think I'll be back here? No. I've been gone for 15 years, and I was cool with it. Because I got to see other states and coach other universities and everything like that. But it's good to be back here for now. You just never know. God has a plan, and do I think this is gonna be forever? No. Only thing I can do is spend my time here now and try to lead the program better than what it was, when I got here.
Awesome. Then tell us where you all been in your coaching tree. I know.
So I started my coaching tree in Lock Haven at Penn State. So even though I was training for Cal, I volunteered for Cal, coaching and everything like that. And then I was helping out. Say again? Yeah.
You were with Sanderson? Okay.
Yeah. So I went out there with Cal when he first got out there in 09. So he took us. It wasn't Happy Valley. It was nothing happy about that valley because all that Sandusky stuff came out. So and I'm like, man, what you get us into, man? And he was like, he's like I'm supposed to know who that cat is, and so nobody was screaming, "We are" at Penn State at that time, and so the thing I liked about Kel, man, Kel says, hey, at the end of the day, I'm bringing you out here. I'm putting trust in you to take these guys under your wing, and take them under your wing. You train them. They're gonna hear your voice, man. And I got the luxury of working with Frank Molinaro, Nick Fanthorpe, Frank Gomez, Bubba Jenkins, David Taylor. These guys. I got to work with these guys, wrestle with these guys, and he says yes because you get these guys to do well, then we all do well. So he understood it, man. And most coaches, you don't get a lot of coaches like that, man. Most coaches is about, where their worth is at and their ego and this, that, and the other. No, he said, no, I know if you're handling your business over here, that's going to get Johnny to here, which is going to get us up to there.
So you went from Penn State to Lock Haven?
So Lock Haven at Penn State about 25 minutes away.
Right.
So I was going back and forth. My old teammate, Robbie Waller, was the head coach there. So, Kel already had his staff established. So I'll go over there. I lived in Mill Hall. And so I'll go help out. And their practices were later. So my practice was like at 1, with Kel. And then Robbie had his practice like 4:30. So I'll leave practice with Kel, go out there, and I'll help coach with Robbie Waller, with Matt.
Man, you were hustling.
Oh yeah, man. Man, like I said, it was learning the game. It was learning the game because what? I was single then, single. I was on my own time, I didn't have to answer to nobody besides God and everything. So driving back and forth, man, and taking those guys under the wing as well. And so getting to know those guys. So I was at Penn State and Lock Haven, and then when I got done training in 12, I left there. Matt Derlin was another secret piece behind our training at Penn State. He was our RTC coach, and he took the job at Binghamton, New York. And so I went out there with him, and I didn't even know where Binghamton was. And then I saw it was like 3 hours away from Lock Haven. So I was like, all right, I can give it a shot. I trust Derlin. So I went out there, loved it. I actually loved it. I was out there for 3 years, man. And then during that time, I got married and whatnot. And then I received a call from Mark Branch at Wyoming. Well, just being married, even Derlin, my mentor, he was like, hey, man, I think this would be good just to go, it's Laramie. It's a quiet environment where you and your wife, can start your new chapter. He's like, I don't want you to go, but, I want to look out what's best for y'all. So we gave it a shot. My wife, man, we got out there to Laramie. She loved it and everything like that, man. Cold environment, but the people were amazing, man. So I was out there for 7 years and then came back. Lou called me in 22. And then with Lou resigning, going to Pitt, Kish kept me on when he part of his new staff.
Right, I forgot Lou was there. So Lou's at Pitt. He's assistant coach at Pitt?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. And you came from one coach and survived to the next coach. That's always hard to do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like I said, man, it was easy. It was easy to pout and get mad and this and that and the other. But at the end of the day, I was like, he says, hey, man, the program, man. Hey, you on the wall, man. You know this. Let's get this program back up and going. And that's one thing. He's like, I'm learning about the brand. I've heard of the brand. I knew the brand, because he wrestled at Minnesota. Kish wrestled at Minnesota. He knows we had the battles we used to have. But he says, hey, I know what it's like to come from a big brand. Let's get this brand back up and going. I said, let's do it. So that's what we're doing.
You guys are getting it, and Oklahoma's been like has some of our best Olympians.
Oh yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, Oklahoma as a whole, and I know each state has his ends. Besides PA just consistently up there. They just legit, we've had our down years, we've had our good years, man. And at the end of the day, is we have history. That's what we try to teach these guys, man. Look at the history. Just study the history, instead of looking at all the goodies or what you're going to get, because that's some big shoes, we're going to expect you to fill, when you're coming out this way and everything.
Coach, you about to enter a money round. Don, you got anything for him before we get to the money round? Okay. All right. So kind of rapid fire. We got about 7 minutes here. So I'm going to try to hit it. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Pizza, hamburger. Yeah. Pizza.
What'd you say?
Pizza or hamburger?
Oh, I'll take pizza.
Pepperoni or sausage?
Sausage.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
To me, no, but I mean, everybody's good.
It's all about you.
Yeah, no, not me. No.
Chicken or steak?
Ooh. Steak.
Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches or Popeyes chicken sandwiches?
I'm gonna go Popeyes.
Popeyes. Pop or soda?
Say that again.
Do you call it pop or soda?
We got a pop.
Oh, that's country. All right. Would you rather have a bear or chimpanzee as a pet?
Man, I think I'll take a chimp.
Would you rather have ghosts or roaches in your house?
Ghosts.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you grew up with some roaches.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would definitely rather have ghosts.
Ghosts.
Pen or tech?
I'll take the pen.
Double or single?
I'll take a double.
Armbar or chicken wing?
Chicken wing.
Defense or offense?
Defense.
Freaks or Rulons?
Rulons.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Sprawl or head blocks?
Head blocks.
Head norm or body lock?
Body lock.
Splato or cradle?
Cradle.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Would you rather be attacked by a shark or a tiger?
A shark.
All right, you can 12, okay. All right, here's the big one here. Five Guys or In-N-Out Burger?
Five Guys.
You had In-N-Out.
Yes, and it goes in and out.
In-N-Out's pretty good. All right. Tournament or tournament?
Tournament.
Yeah, you're from the Midwest. We got to say it correctly. Guts or laces?
Ooh, I'm a good gut man.
Good. Grape or strawberry jelly for your peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Great.
Escape or reverses?
Escape.
Droid or iPhone?
iPhone.
State or states?
State.
Ultimate ride out, top or bottom?
Yeah. Top. Ultimate ride out. Yeah. Ultimate ride out.
Top.
Top.
All right. Chicken, boneless or traditional?
Traditional.
Flats or drummies?
Flax.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
When you eat a taco, do you tilt your head to the left or the right?
Say it one more time. Cut.
When
Start out.
when you eat a taco, do you tilt your head to the left or the right?
Left.
Loyalty or respect?
Nah, I'll take respect.
Jordan or LeBron?
Oh, Jordan.
Dumbbells or kettlebells?
Dumbbells.
On your hot dog, ketchup or mustard?
Neither.
You going plain?
Yeah, I'll go plain.
You don't put ketchup or mustard on
Nah, I don't even eat hot dogs, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. If you could wrestle anyone, dead, present or alive, who would it be? The weight classes don't matter.
Weight classes don't matter. I would like to wrestle Lincoln McElravy.
Okay. He was before you though, right?
He was before me. And I watch a lot of his film, man. That dude, I mean, I don't get into odd people, but he was one of the few. He just beast mode, man. He was a beast. I mean, the dude was a freak of nature, man. He just had the heart, man. He was just fun for me to watch.
He was a beast. All right. So anything else you got to say to the Sooner Nation or soon to be part of Sooner Nation?
Man, like I said, hey, give us time. We're believe me, we're striving, we're working, man. We see some goodness. We do, man. And at the end of the day, like I said, just give us time. We gonna get it back there. Our goal is we're realists. We're realists. Our goal is break that top 15 and break that top 10. That's just what we want to do, man. We're realists. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to keep Oklahoma in that loop.
All right. Is there anything you guys got coming up on the schedule that people can look forward to?
Man, Missouri next weekend, and then we finish out with Arizona State. So,
right.
they're two tough duels, man.
Are you at Missouri?
Missouri's with us, and then we go out there to Arizona State.
Well, you like that? That's some good weather out there.
Yeah. I need my guys not being distracted, and everything. I told them I'll snitch on all of them because they all got girlfriends. So I said I'll get out there and snitch on everybody, take pictures and everything, then send it out and host it to the girl. Said, yeah, and video too. And I said, that's the good thing about iPhones. We didn't have to worry about that back in our day.
Right.
That Nokia Snakes wasn't doing nothing. I said, I got video.
Right.
Do what it do.
So that should be two tough duels, and Arizona State is starting to come around and get your starters back in. Like, are you guys healthy? Have everybody back?
Man, we got a few guys out. And everything like that. And our goal is, it ain't about winning the duel as much as you want to win the duel. At the end of the day, it's about March. You know that, and our focus is if we lose a duel, because we got to set a guy out, I'll take that. I'd rather for him to be ready for Big 12s and Nationals. I don't care, about the duel. As much as I want the duel, I want Big 12s and Nationals.
If a recruit wants to reach you, how do they reach you?
Obviously, I'm not good on social media. I think I got a Facebook profile and everything like that, and so instant message or whatever that they want to recruit, and then obviously, my the Sooner website and whatnot, but the best thing to reach me is Facebook. I'm quickly to respond to you because I can only do one thing, man. I'm not I'm not good with the Twitter and the Instagram. That's too much.
Oh,
That's too much distraction.
That's where it's at now. That's where it's at now. You gotta pick
I
it
know,
up.
man. I know it's too much distraction for me, man.
The GLP-1 pill you've been waiting for is now on Ro. Yep, it's finally here. With the same clinically proven ingredient, now in a pill, and now on Ro. It's the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest price available. That's one daily GLP-1 pill for big results. Now on Ro. Go to ro.co/listen to see if you qualify. RX only. Go to ro.co/safety for serious side effects and boxed warning associated with GLP-1s.
Hi, everyone. I'm two-time World Cup winner for the U.S. Women's National Team, Julie Ertz.
And I'm former NWSL star Kaylia Watt. Welcome to Style of Play.
From the U.S. Women's National Team to the global stage, we're talking to stars on the pitch and special guests from across all sports and entertainment. We're also getting real about life after the game, motherhood, and what it's like raising kids in a two-pro athlete home.
Make sure to follow us on social at Style of Play Show and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You ready, Kay?
Let's go.
Electricast.